Hello and welcome to the Amazing Nerdiverse. I'm Jeff Grant.
I'm Steven Tugart.
This is the part.
This is the part where we talk about
this is the part of the show where I don't know what to talk about. Usually I make something up at the beginning, something unrelated to what we're going to talk about. And then I say, just kidding, this is the podcast where we talk about all things good and geeky that make up the Amazing Nerdiverse. We're talking movies, TV shows,
comic books,
video games,
comic
books, audiobooks,
fidget spinners.
Yeah. Books that, like, instruction pamphlets.
Yeah.
That come with electronics.
In Spanish, French, Italian.
Holiday brochures. You know, when you go to, like, a hotel and they have, like, all those, like, little brochures, like, the little pamphlet things for all the fun things that you can do in town.
Yeah.
We cover all those, too.
Awesome.
Medieval times.
Let's jump into it.
Into what?
I hope you have something planned on that laptop.
No, yeah, we're talking about pamphlets today because I didn't do my research. No. Let's jump right into the news. First up, let's talk about Star Wars: The Last Jedi. All right, pass. Moving on. No, Star Wars: The Last Jedi. Now, we don't talk about every little like Star Trek news item.
Ooh, shit. Leave that in. I want everyone to know how stupid you are.
Yeah. You just mentioned Star Trek before we started rolling, to be fair.
And, look, there's many sides to what I said and to what just happened, so let's just move along.
Okay, fair enough. So we don't talk about every little Star Wars story that comes about because, as opposed to, like we talk about all kinds of stuff with, like, the comic book movies, the Marvel movies, DC and stuff, and like that. I don't know what it is about Star Wars that's different, but I like to have some element of mystery because I guess it's because I know way too much about comic books, characters, and storylines from the comics and all that sort of thing. Mm-hmm. But like, I guess there's part of me that like a lot of times I can guess what's going to happen or be based on knowledge of like a particular story or how certain characters would interact or that sort of thing. So that when it does surprise me, that's awesome. But instead, we end up covering a lot of spoilers and stuff. But with Star Wars, we like to avoid stuff as much as possible to not be spoiled.
Do you think it's because it's bigger?
I mean, kind of.
Like there's so much more coverage, maybe? Maybe not more. That might not be the right...
Yeah. I don't end up having to cover Star Wars. I cover it a good bit on the website and everything on Heroic Hollywood. But
what's that website?
Heroic Hollywood.
Oh. Let's check that out.
But I do have to cover it every now and then. But like for the most part, if I don't specifically have to cover a certain item or have to know it to have to know about something like in regards to that, I don't read everything or watch everything or stuff like that. I hear people watch people talk about it on YouTube videos and stuff like that. But I like to know less about Star Wars than comic book stuff. But with that being said,
maybe there's something about Star Wars in particular that's just more fun to experience as a surprise.
Yeah, there's more of an element of like wanting stuff to be like keep some level of mystery.
Because like it kind of reminds you of like that moment when you find out Darth Vader is Luke's father. It's that kind of a thing.
Yeah. Now.
Not necessarily an M. Night Shyamalan twist, but like a big reveal type thing kind of in the movies is what makes
like
it good.
That's one of the most like iconic moments in all of Star Wars was that thing that you didn't know.
In a lot of movies.
And in cinema in general. That's
it's like you got iconic. That, Sixth Sense. Name another big reveal twist type thing.
I mean...
I'm trying... I'm sure there are.
I'm trying to think. It's harder to think of something that's not like just another M. Night Shyamalan movie.
What about what is it? Bryan Singer, The Usual Suspects. I haven't seen it, but I know already the twist.
Same with like Seven.
Yeah. It's not a long list, and we're having to try
the most iconic moments and stuff.
But yeah, like that Star Wars reveal is kind of
It's one of those like.
So you're kind of waiting for that in each like, you know.
Yeah. Also, it's not based on any like previous source material.
Right. Like a predated, like, oh, this is how they did it back in the...
Yeah, everything now is adding to it as opposed to just re-adapting something that's already existed in some other form.
Yarp.
But yeah, so basically with that being said, you know, Rian Johnson, the writer and director of The Last Jedi, and some guy named Mark Hamill, they basically both were on Twitter and said that, like, you know, encourage fans to avoid everything you can from now until December.
Okay.
Because they're going to start, like, you know, footage and stuff like that, and you're going to... TV spots is where it gets really bad. I'll probably watch a lot of the trailers.
Do you think they need to market it?
No, but...
What if they did, like, nothing?
Well, then they definitely wouldn't make as much money. But, like, because we know about it.
Right.
The nerdy people who read about this stuff and are on the internet know about it. But that's not everybody. Not everybody knows about this.
No? Are you sure?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, you just assume because you know it. But there's so many people that don't know about this shit until, like, maybe they see a commercial on TV. That's the only way they're going to find out about something like this.
What else do they do?
I don't know. Live sad lives?
I guess.
Or something. I don't know.
What else are you doing if you're not looking up when the next...
Yeah, when the next Star Wars movie's coming out.
You go to work, you get home, and you look up, all right, when's Star Wars coming out? Got it. When's Thor coming out? Got it.
I don't wait till I get home. I'm doing that while I'm at work.
While you're driving around.
Yeah. But yeah, so I'll probably watch the trailers, but I'm going to try to avoid as many of the TV spots as I can unless I have to cover one for an article or something. Another, you know, there's a couple of Star Wars stories, though. Maz Kanata is going to have a smaller role in The Last Jedi.
Yeah.
And Captain Phasma will have more like a larger role with more like action scenes and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. This story and these stories and like several other stories come from like Entertainment Weekly. They did this whole big spread on The Last Jedi. They do it every year. You know, there's all kinds of just news stories and interviews and pictures and fun stuff like that. John Boyega was talking about Finn's past, and he's saying,
I like him
he's like a good
just in general.
Yeah,
he's
like
actor.
a good I like him as an actor. I like him as like a, you know, somebody that's like, what would you call that, like an ambassador to like Star Wars, like, you know, one of those people that represents this franchise and everything to the
like
world.
a Han Solo.
Yeah, like all of these like actors, you know, have to do that. Whenever you're brought on board to a franchise and stuff, you have to be a good, like,
that guy.
You know, that guy.
Like Robert Downey Jr.
Yeah, you have to represent the brand in everything you do.
Is that you or me?
That was me. Some bullshit. So yeah, basically he was saying, he was talking about Finn's past. He said, it's not explored in depth in episode 8, but he definitely has a past that is troubled. I don't know how all that's going to play out. We will learn more about his past and where he came from and potentially why he made the decision to escape that he made. Mm-hmm. You know, we'll find out just a little bit more about him, I guess, in episode 8. Episode 9, you know, we'll probably get all the answers of that. And Rey's past as well, which Rian Johnson was talking about Rey's past. He was saying, to me, it's important insofar as it's important to her, like who her parents are and stuff. Mm-hmm. Like, that's like a big question. Everyone just like thought she was Luke's daughter, or, you know,
but
Han
see, this
and Leia's
is the fun
daughter.
part. Like,
yeah.
oh, who is, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, that's the fun part.
Yeah.
I think people kind of forget about that sometimes.
Yeah. I don't think... I think with certain things in Star Wars, because we know, like you were saying earlier, we know that big reveal of I am your father.
Right.
People are expecting that this time around. Like, they're expecting some
like
kind of...
we have some ideas.
Reveal. Yeah, I mean, it could be anybody at this point.
Yeah.
Jar Jar could be her father. Like,
God, that's fucked up.
Misa, your father!
No, I'd shoot him.
Who'd
win in a fight, Spock or Chewie?
That would be a fight I would love to see. Chewie just ripping Spock's arm off.
I don't know if that would happen.
Spock just doing the... He rips his arm off, but Spock's arm still does the Vulcan nerve pinch and everything.
Knocks his ass out. Data versus C-3PO.
God, I think Data would whoop the shit out of that prissy brass bitch.
The shit out of
Okay, so
all right.
Ryan Johnson.
We have fun here.
Yeah. So Ryan Johnson was talking about Rey's past. He said,
Right on.
"To me, it's important insofar as it's important to her. I think it's important to her in terms of what is her place in all of this, what's going to define her in this story. She was told in the last movie that the answer is not in the past, it's looking forward, but she's showing up on this island to talk to this hero from the past. You can be told the answer is not in the past, but I think she still has a lingering hope that she's going to find the thing that's going to say, this is where you belong, this is where you are. I think she holds on to the thought that where she comes from will help define where she's going." And so basically he's saying, I don't know for sure if he's saying it's not going to be as significant of a reveal as some people might be building it up to be.
Mm-hmm.
But at the very least, the main thing is it's important because it's important to her. And
Yeah,
it might not
I can get on
be
board with that.
who it is might not be important to us. Oscar Isaac plays Poe Dameron. He said that he revealed that Leia and Poe will have like a motherly son type of relationship.
Okay.
He said Poe is in some ways a surrogate son for Leia, but I also think she sees in him the potential for a truly great leader of the Resistance and beyond. Poe's arc is one of evolving from a heroic soldier to a seasoned leader, to see beyond the single-mindedness of winning the battle to a larger picture of the future of the galaxy. I think Leia knows she won't be around forever, and she, with tough love, wants to push Poe to be more than the badass pilot, to temper his heroic impulses with wisdom and clarity. Now, she's not going to be... We know Leia is not going to be around... past episode 8 now in the movie universe.
Yeah.
And Poe might be a good fit to kind of take up that.
Yeah.
I mean, he is a badass pilot and everything, but he would also be a good fit, at this point, without her to be the one that like spearheads the resistance and stuff like that in the future. Like he would fill in that role, like General Poe Dameron.
Can you imagine though being Oscar Isaac?
Yeah.
If that's what they go with.
Yeah.
Oh, hey, Carrie Fisher, Princess Leia. Yeah, we're gonna need you to. I'm
fill her shoes.
Oh, is that all?
Yeah. And it's interesting, because like there's a part of Poe that like, is very much like that Han Solo, that cocky pilot and everything like that. And like maybe she sees like some of the same things that she saw in Han in Poe and everything.
Yep.
Are you doing the Mickey Mouse thing?
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Okay. So one last.
Well,
thing
what
here.
happened was a second ago I said like really high pitch.
Yeah.
And I was like, how am I gonna cover this? So I
Just
was like, I'll make it into a joke.
Mask it into the Mickey Mouse.
Oh, I meant to do that.
Yeah. Sure.
Oh.
All right, so one last thing, Star Wars. John Boyega was speaking to THR.
Oh, shit.
And he might have revealed that Luke and Leia will be reuniting in Episode 8.
What?
Which, please let that happen.
Word.
Word to your mother. They will be reconnecting in this movie.
Huh?
I don't know. I don't know why it sounded like I was trying to rhyme. I had no intention of it. I don't know why.
Ladies and gentlemen, I apologize for
if I have offended you with my whiteness.
You have.
I think this. So basically, Boyega was talking about. He was talking about this film and everything. I think the send off is really cool. He's talking about Carrie Fisher's passing and all that stuff and how it's treated in this film. He said, I think the send off is really cool. Even before she'd pass, I'd see her in scenes and be like, this is really cool for both Carrie and Mark, who are the last two original leads alive in the franchise. I feel like they deserve more and more. They've been doing this for a while and have been beating hard of something special, and I just feel like The Last Jedi pays homage to them in general. But unfortunately, now that she's passed, it does have a deeper meaning. I think the fans are going to appreciate that. So, I don't know. I mean, I'm really hoping that's true and that Luke and Leia do have some scenes together in this movie, because it just sucked the last one, Luke not having any scenes with them and everything, and, and not having any scenes with Han before Han was killed off. All that stuff.
Yeah.
We wanted to see these characters together again, and like they weren't together. We just kind of saw them again, and then they're all kind of doing their own thing until one of them dies. And you're like,
how do you feel about the way Han Solo died?
I wouldn't honestly. I would not mind it as much if Luke had some interaction with him before he died.
Yeah.
Like, just wanted to see a little bit more of that relationship that they've all built together.
I think
in the past 30 years, you know.
As I think about it, I don't want to say bothers me, but I wish it was more of like a heroic sacrifice type thing rather than just standing on a bridge and getting got.
I mean, I think it is
you know what I
kind
mean?
of a heroic
Yeah, but it's
thing,
not as... I don't know, there's something missing.
I don't know. I do feel like it's like a kind of heroic thing.
Yeah?
Because Kylo couldn't have turned back at that point. And I don't think Han Solo ignited the lightsaber.
Right.
But I think he part of what he was saying, like he was saying it's okay and everything, he knew it was going to happen, I think.
Yeah.
And he was saying it's okay, you know, you do what you have to do. And whatever you decide, like, I'm okay with that decision.
What if it was... He's just, like, real quiet, like they're kind of whispering, he's like, don't stab me. He's like, I'm gonna stab you. Like, you stab me. Like, really quiet, but, like, just... They're holding on to it and kind of shaking the lightsaber. It's like,
just don't like. I mean, I know what they're telling you to do, but like, no one's here right now. Like,
you
don't have to do this,
Dad. I have to.
You don't have to. They're not.
Have to.
No one's here. It's
Boss
just a giant warehouse, and we're just on a bridge.
Know. He's
the
gonna
only one
know.
watching is Chewie. Chewie's not going to tell anybody. No one understands him. I could have done that for another 15 minutes.
I love whisper arguments.
Yeah. That was fun. All right. All right. Jessica Jones season 2. This is interesting. Spoiler alert, if you have not seen Jessica Jones season 1, if you care about any spoilers and stuff like that, I know you have not. You never watched all of season 1 of Jessica Jones.
I'll get around to it.
Do you care if I spoil like a big significant moment at the end?
Nah, it's all right.
All right. So the spoiler alert, if you don't want to know, it's been out 2 years by now. So whatever. Just if you're watching on YouTube, I'll throw the spoiler alert thing. You can skip over it. So Entertainment Weekly shared an exclusive photo of David Tennant and Kristen Ritter. David Tennant played Kilgrave. Kristen Ritter plays, of course, Jessica Jones. On set, seemingly confirming that David Tennant is going to return for season 2. Now,
I'm assuming the reason that's a spoiler
is because he got.
Okay.
Like,
how much did he get got?
She picked him up by the throat and snapped his neck. Like, it was as God can get.
Okay.
And so yeah, like he appears like on set in costume as Kilgrave, and like they're all having just sillies, just hanging around behind the scenes and stuff.
Flashback?
But I mean, it could be a flashback. Also, there's like scenes in the beginning of Jessica Jones season 1 where like she's just kind of, because she's haunted by him.
Well, right.
Even killing him probably wouldn't completely get rid of that.
Yeah.
So it could just be like a fantasy thing or something like that. Mm-hmm. So I'm thinking it's something more like that. But do
you mean like how Willem Dafoe was coming back as Green Goblin? And
yes.
Okay.
Something like that. Yeah. Like, or you could think of like a Force Ghost, or he's just a Force Ghost, but he's all purple and shit. That would be amazing. Because in the comics, Purple Man was like had this like purple, like everything was purple on him, like even his skin and stuff.
Yeah.
And in the show, they kind of teased that a little bit at the end because his
purple Jolly Ranchers.
Yeah, he just starts shoving them in people's mouth like a fucking creep. And but he. Like in the comics, like or in the last couple episodes of the show, he started injecting this shit that was supposed to strengthen his powers.
Yeah,
and you could see like purple veins coming up in his neck and everything.
Uh-huh.
And then shortly after, he was killed. So, but you could imagine, like if he had survived, perhaps it would have gotten more and more powerful, and like he would just have that purple glow throughout his whole body and everything.
That'd be a good evolution.
Yeah, but he got, and like he's one of I think he's one of the strongest Marvel villains at this point. Like, after maybe as in the Netflix world, like especially he's definitely second to.
So are you including the
Kingpin
cinematic universe?
I mean, he's up there for me. Like because
really?
The Marvel villains aren't always that strong. What they've always done is the heroes are more important.
Yeah. The
villains are only secondary, just to have something for the heroes to punch in the mouth. And, like, most of the villains have been really weak, They've even taken great characters and not lived up to what they could have done with them. I still think, Loki's one of the strongest because he's been in multiple movies.
He's so likable for I don't.
Yeah.
Understand,
He
though.
worked so well. Like he was, in Thor and then Avengers and then Thor 2 and then, now he's coming back for Thor Ragnarok and
Infinity War.
Infinity War, and like he had a small little cameo in Age of Ultron. But yeah, like he's just been a constant part of this universe. But other than him, they've really dropped the ball on most of their villains.
Baron Zemo.
Baron Zemo, not a lot of people like as much as we do.
Really?
I do like him. Yeah,
I mean,
a lot of people think he's another just another in a long line of weak Marvel villains.
really, like he beat them though. He beat them.
Yeah. In a way, like he broke them up.
Right. I
He
mean,
didn't
how else?
defeat or kill them or anything like that.
I mean, how else do you need to label a victory? Captain America's not Captain America anymore.
Yeah.
The fuck more do these people want?
Him dead, I guess.
God.
You gotta be just some shitty little sniper hiding up, shooting him on courthouse steps to be a
Nah, dude. If he's gonna go, I
worthy
think it's
villain,
gonna be by Thanos.
Yeah. No, yeah, they wouldn't do the same thing they did in the comics.
Nah, it's got to be a.
Yeah, even in the comics, it was like, really? That's how he goes out?
That made me sad.
Yeah.
I was legit depressed for a while.
I got a tattoo. Remember, that was when I got my Captain America tattoo. I was like, he's dead. I need to memorialize him on my skin. Just got a Captain America shield on my arm. What was I saying? Yeah, but the villains
Who are your strongest? You give me your big three.
Ones I love, but I don't think they're... I mean, Loki's the best in the movies. Kingpin's the best in the shows. Second best in the shows is Kilgrave. As far as other villains in the movies, Zemo was good. I liked him.
Now, are we talking power level?
Red Skull was great, but they wasted him by not bringing him back like he's like Captain America's Joker kind of thing.
Yeah.
And I just want to. It's a bummer that we haven't seen him again. I want to find them to find some way of bringing him back.
I don't know if they want to bring back that right now.
What I would do, we've talked about this before, is I would have Thanos use the Infinity Gauntlet,
bring some
because he's only got 4 henchmen or whatever.
Right.
There's gonna be 20-something Avengers. He needs to
I think
find
there's gonna be a reason.
Yeah, but it's probably gonna be fighting a bunch of aliens and shit like that. But just a faceless race of aliens, kind of like the Chitauri or whatever.
Yeah.
But how great would it be if he uses Infinity Gauntlet, summoned an army of Chitauri, an army of Ultron robots, and then just brought back all of these villains from throughout the movies for them to fight?
They messed up.
Abomination, Red Skull. Who else? Who else has been a big villain? Malekith. I mean, he's one of the worst villains, probably. Even though I love that actor. Mandarin wasn't really a physical threat. The other Mandarin was an asshole too. The one who was quote unquote the real Mandarin.
Ronan.
Yeah, Ronan would be good.
Yeah.
Hey there, Jeff Grant here, just jumping in real quick to issue a spoiler warning for Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2. If you have not seen that film, just jump ahead about 60 seconds, you should be good.
Bring back him. Ego. That would be amazing if they brought back Ego. But I mean, really...
I hate that dude for real.
Ego?
I was so stabbed in the heart. God.
I never saw it coming.
Neither did I.
I never thought... the whole time I'm like... they're not really
fight.
Yeah, well, the Sovereign. I thought the whole time was they were going to fight the Sovereign, those gold people, and led by Aisha. I thought she was the main villain. But no, it was Ego the whole time, right under our noses. Spoiler alert.
Broke my heart.
I mean, that's a relatively new movie. I don't know if we...
Playing ball with him.
I might have to cut that out because it's pretty new.
Playing catch with Star-Lord.
Yeah.
Only to... You little...
Be an asshole. All right. This is not even on our list of stuff, so we just got way off topic. But that's what I've always wanted, is to see Thanos bring back all those characters and have them fight.
Yo.
That'd be amazing.
I don't know, though.
He could do it with the Infinity Gauntlet. He could do anything.
I've read a little synopsis that he throws a piece of the moon at them.
Yeah.
So I don't know if he needs an army. It's
No.
bro, if you're throwing moons at people...
Yeah, but what are they all going to just fight this one guy? How is that going to be visually interesting? They're just gonna either all be standing back and waiting for their turn, like a Final Fantasy game or something,
I think.
or like give
Probably
them all
aliens.
something to fight.
Yeah.
Yeah, there'll probably be a race of aliens in addition to the Black Order, and yeah.
Skrulls? Or is that just for Captain Marvel?
I don't think it's just for Captain Marvel. I think that's starting to establish Captain Marvel is going to be the thing that starts to establish them in the Marvel universe.
Gotcha.
All right, so let's keep rolling here. There's a new Japanese trailer for Thor Ragnarok, and
Okay. Have you watched it yet?
yes, I watched it today. I wrote the article about it for Heroic Hollywood, and the trailer is mostly just a recut version of the San Diego Comic-Con trailer, except for the very opening scene. Did you see it? You saw it, right?
Yes.
The very opening scine where we get our first look at Doctor Strange in the movie. And I thought that was really cool. Because,
How much do you think he's in it?
Very little. I don't think he's in it that much. Probably less than Spider-Man was in Civil War.
That's a good amount, though.
Well, less than that.
Oh, less than that. Okay.
I think
so you think
it's
he's
really
literally just going to, transport Thor?
It's literally just like them coming to him, like Thor coming to him and getting his help to find his father, Odin.
Yeah.
And it'll be just quick. It's the beginning of the movie. Thor still has the long hair. That's not going to last forever. I think it's going to be all in the first act. And, that Thor meeting Hela for the first time, her destroying Mjolnir and stuff is the first act.
Mm-hmm.
But it was cool. Like, there was some great dialogue there between them and stuff. And, everyone seems to think that, based on the stuff that they talked about, Doctor Strange may already know about the Infinity War. Like, the coming war of all that and stuff.
I'll bet you it's going to bookend.
You think Doctor Strange might show up again at the end?
Yeah. Like, in the beginning, they're talking. Thor goes off, does some stuff, comes back, and then they're like, all right, look.
Or does he come back? Because in the Avengers Infinity War trailer, he's in his gladiator outfit and stuff in space, and that's how the Guardians find him.
I don't know.
So I think it's
Nobody
this
knows.
movie's going to leave Thor on a cliffhanger.
Doctor Strange is like, I wonder when that dude's getting back.
He just cuts the end credits to see just him waiting, just like looking at his watch and just
takes a sip of tea and he's like, I hope he's all right.
I'd like that. We just wrote a post-credit scene for you, Marvel. Put a
Just
check
really
in the mail.
simple, just like, I hope he's all right. I like him.
He's an alright guy. Okay, so Silver and Black, the Silver Sable Black Cat movie, is going to be released on February 8th, 2019. I get that that's your commentary on this movie, but it's also very distracting when I'm trying to read the news. So it's gonna come out February 8th, 2019, which is just 4 months after the Venom movie, which comes out October 5th, 2018. Now, according to Jeff Snyder of the Tracking Board, Chameleon, Tombstone, and Tarantula may appear in this movie. Now,
Is Spider-Man going to appear?
I don't know. Exactly. I mean, that's exactly my thoughts. But at least this time, Tombstone, Tarantula, I don't give a fuck. Take them. I don't care. Those are characters, at least, that I don't care if they're not going to be in the MCU. But, I still want to see, Chameleon is one that's been around since the beginning. I think he was in issue 1 of Amazing Spider-Man. He's someone that I would kind of like to see the MCU version do.
Uh-huh.
And, I don't really know much about Silver Sable or care, but,
would you have them do,
Black Cat is one I would like to see involved in there.
Would you have them do, Chameleon is, like a Mystique type shapeshifter, or, some other type of way that he shapeshifts to...
Some kind of technology.
You wouldn't want him to be...
Maybe the Tinker related, maybe Skrull related.
Uh-huh.
It's not they could find an interesting way to do it in the MCU.
Huh.
But that's the thing. They could find an interesting way to do any of these characters in the MCU.
Right.
Sony doesn't have any of the creative people, the wherewithal, the knowledge of any of this stuff to do it right. And Venom might turn out to be an okay movie, but
I mean, I like Tom Hardy as Venom.
That's great
How
casting.
old is he?
I don't know.
30s? Early 30s? Late 20s?
Probably later 30s. I don't
Really?
know. Yeah, he's been around for a while. Just no one knew who he was until Bane. Because he was in. I knew he was a little bit longer, because a little bit before that, because he was in that movie Bronson. I saw that.
He was in some kind of like boxing or fighting movie.
Well, Bronson, he was a prisoner that was always fighting people.
He would have made it a pretty good Punisher too. No,
I don't really see it in the face.
I mean, what's his name? John Barenthal.
Mm-hmm.
That dude is.
Yeah.
The Punisher.
Yeah, he is a little more southern for someone who's supposed to.
You don't want a southern Punisher?
Not really. It's kind of deliverance-y, but you can't protect them red.
No, but like Tom Hardy's like, he's a really good choice for Venom. They just gotta.
Yeah, no, that's an excellent choice for Venom, but that's all that movie is hinging on. Like everything else isn't. Like originally, Rhett Reese and Paul Wernick were writing a Venom script, but I don't think this is that version. And I'm
just curious how you do it by himself, without Spidey.
Yeah, who knows, man? They'll find some way. It'll be some stupid like government thing or some bullshit or some
bullshit.
I don't know. Maybe he'll be like a reporter, and he goes to some science lab and they have some alien shit and it gets on him. I don't know. It's gonna be dumb.
I mean, credit where credit's due. Sam Raimi put him in that bell tower.
They did the exact origin from the comics, right? Wasn't that what happened?
Yeah, as far as I know.
Yeah, like they kind of nailed that part of it, not where the symbiote itself came from. It just
and you know what? I'll give him another credit.
Fell from the sky and attached itself to the one guy with spider powers.
Well, I mean, you only got so long to tell a story, so let's
take longer than 2 seconds. Yeah, a little more creative with it.
I mean, I did enjoy how messed up it was that Topher Grace as Eddie Brock was like in church saying, "God, I want you to kill Spider-Man," or Peter Parker.
Oh yeah,
I was like, "Whoa, buddy, you are just."
He's going down a dark path.
I was like, "What?"
Like, okay, but like they can do the Venom origin story for Carnage, where like they're next door neighbors in prison, and
is that what it was?
Yeah, you don't know Carnage's origin?
I know that he's like a serial killer.
He was a serial killer. They were in cells next to each other in prison. The symbiote showed up and broke Eddie Brock out of prison, and a little bit got left behind and attached itself to Cletus Cassidy, who became Carnage, and then he broke out. Cletus, yeah, you know that guy's not good news. He's gonna stab some shit. What a creep. All right, so Hellboy creator Mike Mignola has confirmed that the BPRD, which stands for the Bureau for Paranormal Research and Defense, they will be a part of the reboot. This is reported by Newsarama. He said the BPRD figures into the movie. I don't want to say who is and who isn't in the movie. I think it's fair to say, however, that the primary focus is Hellboy, and it's not a BPRD team movie. How much? I mean, you pretty much just know the movies, right?
Yeah.
I mean, same thing for me. I don't really know much about the comics, and I don't remember the movies that well because it's been so long since I've seen them.
Really enjoyable.
I've been wanting to go back and watch them again, but I'm just so bummed now that they're doing this new version. Even though I'm excited about a new version and stuff, and everything that they've been doing for it, it is kind of a bummer that we never got to see Guillermo del Toro's final film of that.
Yeah,
would have been a trilogy. But yeah, so the BPRD is going to be in that movie. That's cool, I guess. Are you interested in that? Are you interested in this movie at all? The Hellboy reboot?
Yeah. I mean, I'm interested because like the other two were just really enjoyable, and I wasn't expecting anything really from it.
Yeah.
Not in a bad way, but just because like I was like, oh, I'll go into this thing not knowing or expecting much from it, and I was like, wow,
Yeah, you're into it.
Like, when I left the theater, I was like, I'm glad I did that.
Yeah. I'm sure we'll see characters like Abe Sapien and stuff like that in this movie.
Love that dude.
Yeah.
That's my guy.
Yeah, and BPRD and stuff. But, yeah, so That's cool. There's gonna be more. So it's basically gonna be more than just Hellboy in this, but he's gonna be the primary focus.
I wonder how they're gonna make him look.
Hellboy?
Yeah.
I imagine. I kind of imagine because Ron Perlman's a big dude.
Yeah.
And
the new guy, how big is he? Like,
I think he's a big dude as well.
Yeah.
But one of the things that Hellboy
it's a good
was
choice
just,
for him.
What?
It's a good choice.
Yeah, the actor.
Yeah.
Yeah, David Harbour. Yeah, it is a good choice for him. He was also up for Cable, but he didn't end up getting that. So Hellboy is pretty cool too. But like Ron Perlman as Hellboy was like real like thick and stocky and everything. He's just a big dude, and like in the comics, he's usually drawn in this really weird like kind of slender way.
Is he?
And so yeah, like it's really odd angles and stuff that like I always found interesting, like knowing the Hellboy from the movie version first. And for some reason, I'm wondering if they might try to do some kind of thing like that, where they try to make him look like a little more slender and stuff in his form. I mean, he would still be bigger, like taller and long and like longer and everything, but like that, but like not as just like muscular and stocky and stuff. But I'm not sure. I'm not sure how they're gonna do it. I'm curious to see what it looks like though. Like see just a new version of Hellboy. We've only seen the one before.
Yeah.
All right. Brian Fuller has revealed that talks are underway right now for a Hannibal revival. I am really excited about this. I loved Hannibal. They only did 3 seasons. Mads Mikkelsen was a phenomenal Hannibal Lecter. And I also like the rest of the cast and everything. Everybody. Lawrence Fishburne, just a bunch of great people in it. Gillian Anderson. It was just a fantastic cast. And see what happens. It was on NBC.
Scully?
Yeah.
When was she on there?
Through most of the show.
Like in the beginning?
Yeah, she wasn't like in every episode, but she was Hannibal Lecter's psychiatrist.
Well, we watched like a little bit of the first season, and it kind of fell by the wayside. Not because it was a bad show, just because other
stuff took precedent and stuff like that.
But I don't remember her being on there. Oh well.
She might not have been like the first episode.
Gillian or Jillian?
I don't know.
Pretty sure it's Jillian.
I don't know.
I think you don't know how to read.
I also get it confused because it's opposites with
Terry Gilliam.
It's Gillian Anderson and Gillian Jacobs from Community, so that doesn't help.
I think it's Jillian because it's a lady.
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure
it is Gillian Anderson.
But it's Jillian.
All right, well, you
like how you say Jeff and Jeff with like a G and a J.
Yeah, well, I pronounce Steven fucky. Alright. But yeah, so NBC canceled the show after 3 seasons, and for some reason, contractually, they were required to wait 2 years after the finale aired before they could try to find a new home for it.
It's silly.
But the 2 years are up now, and he's saying that their talks are underway to bring the show back, and I am thrilled about that because they did a lot of stuff from the books and the movies in that show, but they never got they did like I think they did the Hannibal. Like what was the origin one? Hannibal Rising or something like that. They did stuff from the movie that was just Hannibal, and they did stuff from Red Dragon. Like they did those arcs and everything, but they never did Silence of the Lambs.
Mm.
And that was what the 4th season would have been. Was Silence of the Lambs.
Doesn't the show take place like way before all that stuff? I thought this was kind of like his Batman Begins type.
Well, no, the other movies took place before Silence of the Lambs, I believe.
What other movie? You mean like Silence of the Lambs? What are you talking about?
I believe Red Dragon was a prequel to Silence of the Lambs.
Okay.
Because he was working together with Will. Was it Will? No, Will Turner from Pirates of the Caribbean.
Will Turner.
God, what is his name? Will. It was Edward Norton played him in the movie. I can't remember. Anyway, he was working together with Will.
Gotcha.
And that was when Will discovered that Hannibal was fucked.
Oh,
and then he went to jail.
Right.
And
didn't they do like a little wink to Clarice or something coming next or something at the end of that movie? Didn't they?
I don't know. Clarice was in Silence of the Lambs, and then she was played by Julianne Moore,
right,
in the movie Hannibal, which I believe was actually set after.
Right.
So I think the way you'd watch the movies is Hannibal Red Dragon, Silence of the Lambs, and then Hannibal. And there's also that Hannibal Rising, but it was a completely different actor, and that movie wasn't good.
Yeah.
There was Manhunter, which was Brian Cox. It was before they ever did the... it was pretty much the same story as Red Dragon.
Martian Manhunter?
Yes. They did a Martian Manhunter movie, but it was Hannibal Lecter.
Word!
Word up! But yeah, anyway, I heard rumors that that Brian Fuller wanted to reach out to God, what's her name? Why am I blanking all of a sudden on all these names?
Original actress?
Juno, Ellen Page.
Ellen Page.
He was reaching out to Ellen Page for Clarice.
I see it.
Yeah, that'd be really cool.
She'd be good.
Yeah. All right. Arnold Schwarzenegger told the playlist that he said, in March next year, I'm shooting Terminator 6. James Cameron and David Ellison are back on board, and then comes a Conan. So he's going to be working on... He's been talking about doing another Conan movie for a long time.
I don't know, bro.
Which,
You're like
King
80.
Conan would be awesome. But yeah, he'd be like a king, like, past his prime or whatever, but he was still holding it down. Holding that shit down on the throne. And then, which I think that would be awesome. I kind of want to see that more. I mean, I love... Terminator 2 is, like, top 5 movies of all time for me. Like, I love that movie. And they never... got there again. Like, the first 2 are great. The rest of that series just fucking sucks.
I like how you can watch Terminator 2 without necessarily needing to watch number 1.
Yeah.
Like,
But 1 is really good, too.
Is it?
Yeah. Oh, you haven't seen the first one?
No, I've only seen number 2.
First one's great, too.
Huh.
Terminator 2 is, like, just, like, a little better. It's,
Yeah.
like, one of the greatest action movies of all time. But the first one's great, too. Arnold's the bad guy in that one, so it's, like, really interesting. And then, like, I always found it really interesting. Like, I never realized it growing up because I always knew he was the good guy in that one.
Yeah.
But people didn't know that when that movie came out.
Yeah.
They didn't realize he was going to be the good guy this time around. Everyone thought Liquid Metal was the good guy until it was revealed, and then he saved him and shit. I think that's fascinating. Tim Miller is supposed to direct the next Terminator movie.
Sorry, that just reminded me of when I was, like, somewhat recently we were watching Terminator 2. And when Robert Patrick,
Yeah.
like, he's running around, all I could see was Doggett from
X-Files.
I was like, I'm rooting for this dude right now.
Yeah. Yeah. See, I knew him first as Liquid Metal, so
Yeah.
he always seemed more like a bad guy to me. So when I saw him in X-Files, I didn't know whether or not I should
Yeah, I
trust
was
him
the
or
same.
not.
Like, yeah, I saw him, T-1000, and then he was like, oh, he's in X-Files.
Yeah.
And then went back and watched Terminator 2. I was like, oh, Doggett. I was like, this dude's all right.
All right, so yeah, Tim Miller is directing this movie, which is a good sign for me.
Deadpool?
Also, yeah, director of Deadpool. Also a good sign that James Cameron and stuff are coming back, so maybe they can get it back on track.
What do you do with it?
I don't know. Like, they might have to do some of the same stuff that the other movies did because... So here's the thing. First 2 movies were great, but what I always wanted to see was the actual war in the future between, the last, of humanity survivors and the machines, and they never did that well. Like, whenever they would do that in any movie and stuff.
I don't trust robots.
I know.
Have you heard of this car?
I don't trust people.
Have you heard of the Tesla?
Yeah.
The self-driving car?
Yeah.
I don't know if I like this.
Why? Skynet?
I mean, yeah.
I know. Skynet.
Like, do we not all realize this is the next step? This is the first step.
I don't think most of us are aware enough to care.
That's the problem.
I know.
We're all about to get got by a bunch of robots.
Yeah. If the Nazis don't get us first.
Nazi robots.
Oh, shit.
Turn off these microphones.
This episode cannot be released. There's plenty of reasons why this episode shouldn't be released. That's just
It's just one of many.
pressing. All right. Empire released a new episode or a new image from Ready Player One.
I gotta finish that book.
It's great. I'm a little iffy on the image though. I don't know where it's from in the movie, but spoiler alert. You're reading some of the book, so
yeah.
Basically,
I'm about 75%.
Yeah, if you're that far into it, you know that that Percival or Wade, who's played in the movie by Ty Sheridan, he doesn't actually meet Artemis until way, way late in the book.
Right.
Like he just sees her in the game world, in the
Oasis.
In the Oasis, yeah. And Artemis is played by Olivia Cooke, who I love. I love her. She's fantastic. She's on Bates Motel. She's been in a bunch of horror movies and stuff like that, and Me and Earl and the Dying Girl and stuff like that. But she's fantastic. I love her. Yeah. So they don't meet IRL in real life and stuff until the end of until the end of the book. So, but there's this image of him seeing her, and she's like kind of standing in the rig or whatever and stuff, and I'm like, either this is from really, really late in the movie, or like they're meeting too early for my liking in real life and everything. Because it's kind of a big deal, like when they meet each other and like they see each other for the first time and everything. I thought that was really cool. It was really well done in the book. All right, so let's finish things off with some DCTV stuff.
All right.
Jesus. Kevin Smith tweeted, his return to Supergirl for the third episode. Or his third episode. It's going to be episode 305. We don't know the name of it because whenever they do the script pages, they always put the pen over the title, so you can't see what the name of the episode is. Although Mark Guggenheim never gives a shit. Whenever they do that for Arrow or Legends of Tomorrow, they always just tweet the full title and cover and all that stuff. But yeah, Kevin Smith is going to be doing episode 305. It's going to air sometime in November-ish, because the show starts back in, I think, the second week of October. The Flash, Grant Gustin was talking about the season 4 premiere.
I like the way he dresses.
Okay.
I think he has a good fashion sense.
I don't even notice those things, because I don't. I think Kevin Smith has a good fashion sense, and that is where I fail. No,
like literally, like if you if you went to Google on my phone and you started typing in GR, it would say Grant Gustin clothing style would come up.
You got it bookmarked.
Kind of. And Stephen Amell just seems like a really good dude.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I think I have more of a man crush on Stephen Amell.
Oh, do you? I'm more of a Grant Gustin myself.
Yeah. Twirling my hair with my fingers. All right, so Grant Gustin was talking about the season 4 premiere. He was talking to comicbook.com. He said, "It's almost like a fresh start for me as an actor this year. The first episode is called Reborn, and it's our take on rebirth.
Okay.
And it gives me an opportunity to let go of all the weight that we've built up and have held on to. And there's even some lines that reflect that for Barry, that he's been able to cope and move on in a way that he's never been able to do in the past. So it gives me an opportunity to let go and have more kind of fun and so more of that kind of fun that we initially had in season 1. So it got kind of dark there for a second, but they're going to get back into some more lighthearted, fun stuff.
Okay.
Which should be cool. Should be fun. I did like when he said rebirth. I really loved, and I think I let you borrow it, and you read it. That rebirth arc was really great. But they're not doing any more speedsters and stuff. Like when at the end of that episode, when the lightning started coming down, I was like, "Oh my god, are they going to do that?"
Yeah.
Like I was so excited
because I really like that idea of everyone's got super speed, and then it's what makes Barry special.
Yeah,
I like that idea.
Maybe they'll hold off and do that in a later
That'd be
season.
a good idea to save that one. Because if everyone's running around at super speed, it's like, what makes you special then?
Yeah.
Because now if you're just like everyone else, then you gotta figure yourself out, bro.
Yeah.
Let everyone else run back in time, screw everything up, and then have everyone else yell at them.
Yeah. If everyone's doing that, like screwing with the timeline, good God.
Jesus.
All right.
I don't even know where you begin.
He was also Gustin was always talking about Barry's time in the Speed Force.
Uh-huh.
He said the Speed Force this time we're not going to necessarily see Barry's experience in the Speed Force. We'll see the effects that the Speed Force has had on Barry. He's been in there for 6 months real time, but the way I see it is that the Speed Force is non-linear with time. So Barry has experienced his entire life from start to end, infinity times over since he's been in there. So he's going to have kind of an awakening when he comes out. He's got some knowledge that he doesn't even quite understand yet. He'll also be scrambled. He won't be himself at first.
Seems like he's going to be really high. It's like, dude.
What the fuck? You know what I was thinking about? I really, oh god, I wish they would have left HR alive, because this season ended. If HR was still alive, Barry goes into the Speed Force, and then HR would be the perfect person to, while Barry's in the Speed Force, while the Flash is away and stuff, he creates the Flash Museum.
Yeah.
In Star Labs.
Yeah.
I really want to. I was thinking about that today, like the other day. I really want to see the Flash
Museum. They'll
Museum.
probably do that because they would feel like that's what he would have done.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like,
maybe.
I feel like that.
Yeah. I don't know if we'll see it this season or whatever.
Or you know what? To be honest, I'd like Barry to just be like,
I want a museum based on like all about me. Yeah, like that's the kind of like I wouldn't see him doing it.
Yeah.
And I don't think I would see him like going like I'd see him going like, guys, don't do that. Like don't, like if he was there, but that's what I'm saying, while he's gone, he's been this city's hero for 3 years.
It's not a bad idea.
And like they still could open it and everything, but like I thought HR, that would be so great if that was his contribution, like his major contribution and stuff.
Saving
to the
Iris
world of
wasn't enough.
No. I don't want him to die. That's my point. Change his contribution. Let it be the Flash Museum.
Put on that fedora one last time.
Yeah. Oh man, drumsticks. All right, Arrow. Last season, Oliver promised Slade that he was going to help him find his son. Now the show is looking for a young Australian actor to play Deathstroke's moody teenage son.
Chris Hemsworth.
This is according to a TV Line.
Chris Hemsworth.
I don't know if he's young enough to play a moody teenage son, but I'd still watch the shit out of it.
I'd watch the shit out of it.
Yeah. But yeah, Deathstroke has a big family in the comics and stuff, and like there's been a bunch of characters that have been major parts in like, Teen Titans storylines and stuff like that. So, and it's kind of cool, like, 6 seasons later, they're finally getting into some of that stuff in the show. We did see in Legends of Tomorrow in the Star City 2046 or whatever the fuck, that episode of Legends of Tomorrow with a super old Ollie with the beard and the one arm. We did see Deathstroke's son in that episode, but we never saw Under the Mask or anything, I don't think. Showrunner Mark Guggenheim also spoke about the possibility of the Huntress returning in the latter half of season 6. What do you think about the Huntress? How did you like her in the show?
I didn't care.
I actively disliked her. Like, I'm usually a pretty positive guy and stuff, but she got under my skin. I don't know what it was. I think it was like her acting was just a little too melodramatic, like soap opera-y and everything. And like, I don't know if the actress was the right fit for me. But then again, like, she didn't really get a whole lot of, like, she was only in a handful of episodes, and we haven't seen her since I believe season 2. And so it's been a while since we've seen her, but the Huntress is a big character from the comic books, and it's a perfect character for this world, especially the world of Arrow. So I would like to see her come back, but maybe she could win me over and everything if they brought her back and did something good with the character. But Mark Guggenheim said that there might be some stuff later this season that might be perfect for her, for a good opportunity to bring her back. Also, a Huntress, Black Siren, like evil birds of prey, like team up could be pretty sweet. Like they kind of did a whole birds of prey thing, but they were all kind of randomly in the episode with like,
Is
like
the
Felicity.
Huntress's last name Thompson?
What?
Is the Huntress's last name Thompson?
Why?
Huntress S. Thompson.
What?
Hunter S. Thompson.
Oh.
I'm making a pun.
Okay, I didn't get it. It wasn't as easy to follow that one. Huntress S. Thompson. Right.
Yeah. Now you get it.
Now I get it. Jesus.
You can just call me Steve.
All right. Black Lightning has cast an LA rapper by the name of Marvin Crondon Jones III as season 1 big bad of Black Lightning, a guy by the name of Tobias Whale. He's an African-American man with albinism and is the leader of Freeland's most feared gang, the 100. But in the days before Black Lightning, Tobias was a politician rising up in the ranks of local government through corrupt and illegal means. That was until he was brought down by Alvin Pierce, Jefferson's father. Enraged, Tobias murdered Alvin and was driven underground into exile. It's here he found a place to rebuild, growing into the violent and methodical leader of the 100 that we find him today. But Black Lightning's recent return has ignited Tobias's desire to emerge from the shadows and face his biggest adversary, Jefferson Pierce, aka Black Lightning. I don't know if Black Lightning's father was like a DA or like a cop or a detective or something, but
I guess we'll have to wait and see.
yeah, but this is the man that killed his father, so there's a personal connection there.
Yeah. Now, is there any chance that they'll cross him over to the...
If they do, they're not going to do it. Probably not going to do it in season 1.
Right.
Or maybe
Let it
it
be
might
its
be
own
like,
thing.
you know, like Supergirl, they did the
Yeah,
crossover
yeah.
late in season 1.
Yeah.
Like, by that point, she had established herself on her own. So,
Uh-huh.
I'm thinking it will probably be something similar. I don't think we'll see him by the time of the crossover. Or, well, he's not even going to be there.
I would like
The
to
show
see
doesn't start till mid-season, so...
Black Lightning and Flash, like, throwing lightning at people.
Yeah. There's a lot of lightning-related superheroes. Black Lightning, like Static Shock, Shazam, Flash, all the speedsters have lightning involved.
Well, I mean, you throw some lightning around, that's...
Thor,
Got thunder.
Shazam. But he's got some lightning going on, too.
Thunder.
Thunder, then the lightning. Or is it lightning, then thunder?
Well, it's thunder, then lightning,
It's
stupid.
lightning, then thunder.
Don't you know how weather works? What are
It's
you,
lightning,
dumb?
then thunder.
Are you some kind of dummy? Are you some kind of dumb, stupid dummy?
I don't know if either of us are meteorologists, but
Uh,
I do know, because the other night, it was storming, I was getting gas, and just a bright-ass light, and then boom! And it scared the shit out of me. I thought I was going to get instructed by lightning while I was...
Instructed by lightning.
Instructed by lightning. Black Lightning's a teacher.
oh, is he gonna say puns, like, after he beats a dude up? He's like, oh, fuck, what's a good, like, teacher pun?
Teacher puns?
Yeah, like, he, like,
I'll see you
rounds him
after
up, he's like, I'll
school.
see you in detention. Like...
Oh, God.
Or like he's about to beat up a bunch of dudes. He's like, class is in session.
He is a dad, so it'd be great to see him like incorporating those great dad jokes. That's what we haven't seen in a superhero on the CW yet. Is dad jokes.
Nice.
Yes,
I'm in.
I definitely think they would fit the dark that show's dark tone. The show looks like it's like on the same par as like Arrow as far as a darker tone and everything, which is cool because you know everything's getting so light with like. You know, I like to see a little bit of balance, see a little bit of everything in these shows. All right. So I said in my Wonder Woman review that I wanted to see more of Lucy Davis, her character Etta Candy, in the movie. And, well, there's going to be an Etta Candy short
spin-off
film.
movie?
No, but a spin-off, but a short film is going to be on the Blu-ray of Etta Candy. It's entitled Etta's Mission, and it'll be an epilogue to the story's, the film's main story.
Is it going to be her and Aunt May going on spy missions?
No, but it says Etta Candy gets the boys back together for a secret mission that could impact humanity's future. So it's like her and like the we got to find out what they were really called, but the Howling Commandos. We just always refer to them as the name Marvel gave those guys. But yeah, so you know, Wonder Woman is going to be available on digital HD on August 29th and on Blu-ray and DVD and all that shit on September 19th. So September 19th, I'm really excited to see more Etta Candy in that because she wasn't in the movie nearly enough for my liking.
Mm-hmm.
Did you like the character in the movie too?
Yeah,
right?
she was funny.
Yeah, I'd like to see what she gets. She gets her own little like. Marvel used to do this. They used to do these one shots.
Yeah.
They started off really small and kind of inconsequential, but then they got bigger and more interesting and like told like great little side stories. I want to see more of them.
Well, I mean, I think because they're focusing on Infinity War, which is such a big...
But they stopped doing that long ago.
Yeah.
Like, they stopped... I think the last one was on the Blu-ray for Thor, The Dark World. All right. Talk about some Justice League stuff real quick, and then we'll wrap things up. Joe Morton from Terminator 2, which, by the way, Terminator 2 is getting re-released in 3D IMAX this month.
Don't fall for it.
I want to see it. I want to go see because I want to see Terminator on the big screen. Like I've never seen it in the theater. That's why I'm interested. Like I don't give a shit about the 3D or whatever, but I want to see it in the theater. Me and my cousin Nicholas went and saw Jurassic Park when they did that, and that was awesome.
Yeah.
In 3D IMAX, that's another one of my favorite films of all time. So I'm like, I want to see.
Have we ever done like a list of like just our regular favorite films?
No, we should do that at some point in the future.
Right now on the spot, go. No, I'm just kidding. Let's save it.
So anyway, Joe Morton, who was in that movie, he was the scientist.
Joe Morton,
guy.
here's who?
Yeah. He's playing Dr. Silas Stone in Cyborg's father in Justice League. He was talking to IGN, and what he said that what he gathered from shooting in the reshoots and everything is that it seems like they're adjusting the tone of Cyborg as a character.
Mm-hmm.
Like we've heard a lot about them adjusting the film's tone and everything, but specifically Cyborg as a character is getting adjusted a lot because he seemed really dark and dour and stuff. And
I would be too.
Yeah, but the Cyborg I love is always like fun and all that stuff, and like everyone's dark and dour. I want to see the Flash and Cyborg being like the ones that are like
hanging
cracking
out, being
jokes
buds.
and, yeah, like saying booyah and stuff.
Wonder Woman's not.
She's kind of somewhere in the middle, but she's a little.
Yeah.
Like there's been some fun stuff with her and everything. Even when she's serious, they can do really funny stuff with her, like they did in the Wonder Woman movie.
Thor type.
Yeah.
I need a horse.
Yeah. But he did say that he still confirmed to Comic Book Movie that Vic is still going to resent his father. He says some of that still is part of that because, I mean, that's a big part of the character as well because his father always ignored him and then it's his father's fault that this kind of crazy thing happens and this explosion.
I wouldn't want to be...
ruins his chances of being a pro football player and stuff.
Or a normal person.
Yeah, or a normal person, yeah. And
would you want to be that?
I don't know.
I wouldn't.
I would like to have something cool happen to me, like some kind of superhero thing. Real life is not working out so well. I need superpowers. I was hoping I got struck by that lightning so I could develop some kind of shit. I don't know.
Nah.
Even just like static electricity where I can just go up and shock people and just annoy the piss out of them.
Nah, you
something.
Just
I need something going for me.
You just get blasted through a wall.
Jesus. Yep. Okay, so also the reshoots and stuff. They were saying that that these reshoots may have also changed the film's ending. Now this I find really interesting because I would have think it would have been the opposite, but what everyone's talking about, what we're hearing is that they're reshooting the film's ending to have less Darkseid.
Really?
Peter Cerreta from Slash Film was on a Slash Film Daily podcast, and he was basically saying the original ending of the movie, from what I understand, was that we were kind of playing the Silver Surfer role, and Darkseid playing kind of like the Galactus role, and the ending of the movie was a cliffhanger, and Justice League 2 was going to be Justice League versus Darkseid. Darkseid arrives on Earth. It was kind of like this down, dirty ending, and from what I understand, that has been completely removed. The ending ends the movie like a movie, and it doesn't leave a cliffhanger now. They did a reshoot with Robin Wright from Wonder Woman, and that's going to be a flashback explaining who Steppenwolf is and how he's now the big bad of the movie, where Darkseid was this looming threat who won't come. So...
sounds like a lot of stuff to change.
Maybe. I don't know. See, I always thought if there was any Darkseid at all, it was very little.
Uh-huh.
And so now it seems like mostly they're removing, like, maybe a cameo at the end and, like, probably something along the lines of, like, a Thanos at the end in the post-credit scene of Avengers.
See, Marvel has built up Thanos.
They know what they were doing, yeah.
They built him up.
Over 10 years almost.
Yeah.
Well, more like 8 by the time the movie comes out next year.
Like, DC is, like, rushing it.
No. Would it be 6 years? 2012 to 2018. Yeah, it'll be like 6 years.
Yeah, it's a little different.
That's what I'm saying.
It's
Marvel
not
has
just
been
the
building
amount of
this character for
movies.
6 years.
I mean, it's not just the amount of years. It's like the amount of movies and...
Yeah. There's always been that looming threat since
Right.
Avengers. I've always just, like, completely hated the idea of Steppenwolf being the villain in Justice League. A lot of stuff has won me over about that movie. That's the one thing that has not yet. Because no one knows who Steppenwolf is. No one cares. Now, the movie is going to establish who he is in the movie, and when everyone is going to go see it, it should be able to understand just by watching, how they establish the character in the movie. We'll know he's going to be a big deal, whatever. But DC Comics has the best villains out there, in my opinion. They have so many amazing villains, and they're using, in their first ever Justice League movie, they're using one that no one knows about and no one gives a shit about. And that's just baffling to me. And, like, I'm excited for Joss Whedon to come in. I'm excited for the changes he's making, but now, like, just this one, not to say that it's that, like, I fault Joss Whedon or, like, I've lost faith in him or whatever. I'm sure what he's doing makes sense, but to me, it's really confusing right now. That I would, if it was me, I would go the other way. I would be like, bring Darkseid in at the end of Act 1, and, like, you know what I mean? Like, I mean, that would change too much of the movie, and that might not be financially feasible. But, like, more Darkseid, to me, would be the solution, not less. But then again, more Darkseid would be the same thing that, like, you'd see problems with other movies where they, like, try to shoehorn stuff in.
Yeah.
Like Krang in the second Ninja Turtles movie.
I still haven't seen that.
It's not great. And, like, they just kind of shoehorn him in, and he literally pops up out of nowhere.
Really?
Into the movie. Yeah, it's like, really ridiculous. And it just feels like a different movie all of a sudden. And, like, things like that. Like, you know, I wouldn't want them to try to do that, and maybe pulling back and just kind of, like, you know, it's more of a situation where, like, this is the villain we're stuck with, so we might as well make this villain as good as we possibly can.
Why not do Legion of Doom?
I mean, they've already shot most of the movie. They can't go back
I'm saying,
now.
Like,
but, like, but that first, yeah, I mean, it's always been that
like,
first decision was so dumb to, like, do Steppenwolf instead of
shit.
Yeah,
because, like, Legion of Doom, you can at least,
yeah,
even if you have no idea, like, just from saying Legion of Doom, you okay, it's a bunch of bad guys.
They should have done Darkseid or Brainiac or...
Brainiac would be perfect.
Yeah, just one of those guys first.
Because, like, where's Superman?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? It would kind of lead into...
Yeah. I don't know, man. I would have imagined, like, maybe they're starting... Or, well, they're not starting with him, but, like, maybe they're trying to avoid the type of thing where like, Thanos, where they're building up to him over, like, you know, all these years and stuff, like... Maybe they were trying to get to Darkseid quicker.
Uh-huh.
But I think you either start with him or save him for later.
Yeah. And
not try to do something in the middle. And now they're saving him for later, but they don't have a good plan A, like, with their, you know, first villain. And that's a bummer. One last news story I want to talk about. So Casey Affleck was on a sports radio show. Have you heard about this?
I saw this little clip.
Yeah, he was on a sports radio show, and he said that he doesn't think Ben Affleck's going to star in the Batman.
I think he's just fucking around.
He was joking, and it's just funny to me, like, how many people immediately
like,
jump
if you watch
to,
the
like,
video, he's clearly like...
yeah.
He's like, yeah, he's probably not going to do it. I don't know. I don't give a shit.
Yeah.
I did like when they're like, how'd you think Ben did his Batman? He's like, nah, I didn't think he did.
Yeah.
Because, like, it's his brother, so he's like, no. My brother? Pfft. That dude's not Batman.
Yeah, and, like, in my article I said he's obviously joking and stuff like that.
He even says, I'm just making that up.
Yeah.
So.
But then again, maybe he's joking around and stuff and realizes he said a little too much.
Wouldn't you, like, if you're Ben Affleck's brother, like, your brothers.
Yeah.
Always kind of fucking with each other.
Yeah.
There's this huge thing, like, oh, is Ben gonna do it? You get the chance to go, nah, he's not gonna do it.
Yeah, why would he do that? Yeah, I would do that too.
Like, you would get the call later, like, bro, why?
Yeah. You know, like, especially because, like, all the shit that Ben Affleck is dealing with over this, like, people, like, one way or another, no one believes what he's saying.
Right.
They don't believe him when he say he's doing it. They don't believe, like, the other side of it don't believe when they hear he's not doing it. It's ridiculous right now. I am on the fence, you know, I'll just have to wait and see. I don't want him to leave. But just because I don't want it to happen doesn't mean I'm clouding my judgment and thinking it's not going to happen. You know, I'm prepared for that if it happens. But if he sticks around, I'm prepared for that as well because I think he's a fantastic Batman. It doesn't matter. We're not going to know whether Ben Affleck is going to... We're not going to really know if Ben Affleck is going to stay on board with Batman or not until after Justice League because he's not going to say anything about it. If he is planning on leaving, he's not going to say anything about it before Justice League because that would just... affect that film's performance and all that stuff. Either way,
if he built that suit to fight Superman, wouldn't you imagine that he would wear it again for
Steppenwolf or any of these other? Yeah, you would imagine. That's why it doesn't make sense to start off doing the story that's like the last Batman story. Mm-hmm. They make a lot of really fucking dumb decisions over there, man.
It's a bold move.
Yeah,
well, bold's the right word.
Bold to be that dumb. All right. Anyway, if you like this episode, please do us a favor and subscribe to the podcast on iTunes and use your favorite podcast app to subscribe to the podcast, leave a review, all that sort of thing. The review is the most important thing you can do to help us out and help people find the show. If you're watching on YouTube, like the video, subscribe to our channel, and leave a comment. Share this show with your friends online. On Facebook, we're at facebook.com/theamazingnerdiverse. On Instagram, we're at Amazing Nerdiverse. And on Twitter, I'm at Jeff_Grants.
I'm at Steven Tukert.
And we are at Nerdiverse Pod. And finally, go to theamazingnerdiverse.com for all that and very little more. And until next time, I'm Jeff Grants.
I'm Steven Tukert.
Catch you right here next time in the Amazing Nerdiverse.
Hit 'em. And scene.